Here is your March energy update for 2021. March is going to mark a powerful turning point in terms of decisions you make about your life. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean. Welcome to my channel where I give you the knowledge you need to awaken and ascend with confidence and clarity. So March is going to unfold in some very profound ways. We have the equinox on March the 20th, which always represents transition and entering a new phase in life. The most important thing about the energy of March is that it will create a shift in your consciousness in several possible ways. But how your consciousness shifts will be entirely up to you. It will be up to how you assess your life at this point in time and what decisions you make about your life's path going forward. So we are talking about two things. First, your level of self-awareness, and second, what you choose to do about your experience. Now, our world changed dramatically about 1 year ago. We went from having a relatively predictable life of peace and freedom to overnight becoming a planetary prison where all of our freedoms were taken away. Our previous lifestyle, no matter what country you were in, was basically destroyed. This kind of radical, overnight, and unexpected change for the worst will definitely produce mass amounts of fear and trauma. And we should not overlook or underestimate the effects of this, because this high level of collective trauma makes you very susceptible to mind control. And of course, that is the whole idea. The fear and confusion that such a radical, unexpected change produces can cause people to believe just about anything if they think that a certain belief will give them a sense of safety and stability. Now, I know that those of us who are spiritually awakening can be tempted to believe that we are somehow immune to various mind control techniques. But that's not always true. We are being attacked on multi-dimensional levels. It's not just physical. The degree to which you allow yourself to be susceptible to any sort of mind control, including spiritual mind control being enacted from other dimensions, will determine your destiny for a very long time to come. And you should also understand that spiritual mind control can be enacted from this dimension in the form of disinformation. I mean, do you really think that the controllers are going to ignore us on a spiritual level? Actually, our spirituality has always been one of their primary targets. That's why religions were invented. So spiritual and metaphysical mind control is a prime way to target us because that's where we find our power. That's where our light is. So what we have witnessed and are still witnessing on this planet for the past year is intended to be a form of mass trauma-induced mind control. See, a widespread, planet-wide human trauma is something that none of us have ever experienced before. So right now we are living in a highly reactive world. People are looking for anything they can believe in order to survive. And that's because most of our previous anchors to reality have just been wiped away. So people everywhere are searching for new anchors in order to feel secure and believe that everything will be okay. This trauma-induced form of open-mindedness is not healthy because it stems from fear and from a desperate form of anxiety. It makes you very vulnerable. And of course, the controllers know that. So I think it's important to account for that and make a serious effort to come back into your center and back into your heart. Come back into love and let that love heal you. Make yourself whole again. Now, the energy of the March equinox represents a pause. On a physical level, it is a day of equal darkness and equal light. So you can think of March as providing you with an energetic pause, a moment to ask yourself which timeline of experience you are going to choose for yourself. Are you going to choose one that has a trajectory of increasing light and greater peace and happiness? Or are you going to choose one that takes you into deeper experiences of fear, despair, and alienation? Now, rather than thinking about timelines, I would suggest that you focus instead on trajectories. See, you can be fooled about timelines because they are usually fueled with promises of end results that you cannot currently see. The idea of timelines can be tainted with promises of outcomes that could potentially prove to be pure fantasy. But you can't be fooled when you look at trajectories, because that is something that you can see right now. You can see the direction that you are aiming towards. And you can also see the direction that the world is aiming towards. Trajectories are about physics, and they're about the now of things. So timelines are very real, but to try and shift a timeline without looking at the current trajectory of things is probably going to fail, because once again, you can be easily fooled. So the most important level of self-awareness in March is to look at the trajectory of your own life right now. So in March, you want to be deeply honest with yourself in the most sincere possible way. That starts with following the guidance of your heart. See, the power of your heart lies in its simplicity. The heart loves everything that is high vibrational and filled with beauty, peace, and love. The heart wants nothing to do with pain and suffering. And the heart has zero interest in all of the spiritual excuses for pain and suffering. See, those excuses are actually designed for one thing and one thing only. They are designed to shut down the heart and convince you to invalidate its messages. So if you are suffering right now, or if you feel that your life is on a downward spiral, there will be no shortage of people who will be happy to tell you that there's a good reason for that experience. There are even people who will tell you that your pain and suffering are part of your ascension journey. Guys, that doesn't make any sense. Ascension is an upward spiral of increasing love, light, happiness, and empowerment. Pain, suffering, and despair are signs of a downward spiral into greater levels of darkness. I mean, don't take my word for that. Ask your heart. So if you are suffering right now, I suggest that you look for ways to immediately shift that trajectory by shifting how you are processing your life's experiences. Who and what are you listening to? What are you believing? You can start by believing in your heart instead of shutting your heart down in favor of affirming the excuses and spiritual justifications for your pain. See, when you connect with your heart, that immediately aligns you with your higher intelligence. It instantly restores the natural alignment between the heart, the mind, and finally the body, where your wisdom gets expressed in the physical world. So you can think of March as a turning point. The equinox itself represents a turning point. After that moment of pause, there will either be increasing darkness or increasing light, depending on where you are in the world. So you can look at the equinox as a metaphor. Look at the trajectory of your life right now. What trajectory are you on physically, mentally, and emotionally? Are you on a trajectory of increasing darkness or of increasing light? Give yourself some time alone to really contemplate this. Become as self-aware as you can be. Be fully conscious and present when you answer this question for yourself. Allow yourself to have a pause of clarity. If your trajectory is one of increasing light, then by all means put more energy into that experience. And on the other hand, if you realize that your trajectory is aimed toward increasing darkness, then you have the opportunity to turn that experience around. And the best way to turn that trajectory around is to let go of any and all excuses and justifications for that increase in pain and suffering, including and especially any spiritual excuses. The idea is to let go and decide to make a fresh start and shift to a new direction. You will know that you're on the right path by how you feel. When you feel good, when you feel happier, inspired, and optimistic, then you are on an ascension path and an upward spiral of energy. And when you feel bad, when you feel demoralized, anxious, depressed, then you are on a descending path. You are on a downward spiral of losing energy. I mean, this is simple physics, you guys. See, all you have to do is know what your goal is. There are a lot of convoluted, fear-based spiritual ideas attempting to explain all of this kind of stuff away. But if you want to, you can just throw that out, because a lot of times it's just going to get you more confused than ever. Instead, I suggest that you keep it very simple, keep it focused, and keep it powerful. And you should also know that because this world is so incredibly volatile right now, you may need to constantly adjust your trajectory on a day-by-day basis. It's called riding the ascension wave of evolution. Stay centered in your heart and don't allow yourself to be vulnerable to mind control in any form. And here is the key point. You want to seek inspiration over explanation. If something does not inspire and uplift you, then it's probably not worth getting heavily invested in. So energetically, March can offer you a breath of fresh air with new insights about your life and your consciousness. It offers you a stark choice between experiencing more darkness or more light. I think you're going to be a lot happier if you choose the light. You know, I also think of March as pushing out the old and clearing the space for the new. So you can look at March as a month of clearing, a month of just overall clarity about your life, and a time to reset, as I said, your trajectory in preparation for the rest of what is to come. So overall, I'm wishing you a wonderful month ahead. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it out with anyone else who you think would enjoy this information. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, because I am here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday with all new videos. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, and positive energy, and I so look forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaste.